This is the inside of the Mobilvetta K-Yacht 85. If I firstly come to the main control panel, I can turn it on just by touching the screen. Once we've done this, we can turn the lights on just here, and then they can all be individually turned on and off on their own switches. The light bar and the blue LED lighting will come on without the control panel being turned on. Blue LED lighting controlled just on this switch just here, and then the light bar just controlled on this switch here, and if you hold it in you can control the brightness of it. Next we have awning light on and off, water pump on and off. We need the water pump on so we can get water out of the taps. Flush the toilet and fill the boiler if it's been drained down. The toilet will not flush unless the auxiliary button is also on. All the buttons in the centre here will take you to exactly the same thing. So we have condition of vehicle battery, condition of the leisure battery, how much water is in the fresh tank and how much water is in the waste tank. We can put alarms on any of these like so. So now if the vehicle battery gets low, it will let you know, and the same with the leisure battery. When your freshwater tank is low, it will let you know, and when your waste tank is needing emptying, it will let you know. Alter the time and date at the top just here, and then beneath that we can set a wake up alarm. Just set it and then activate it just here. As you can see, this one will take us to the same screen as well. Internal temperature and external temperature. This will illuminate in green like it is at the moment whenever you are connected to mains electricity. And then we have settings menu just here, so we can control the brightness of the screen, how quickly it times out when not in use, and how bright the screen will be when it's in snooze. Key beeps on and off just there, and then above it we do not need to activate it as we do not have any Bluetooth equipment on this particular motorhome. Beside this we then have the control panel for the Truma heating and hot water. At the moment it's just displaying the time, and it's also letting us know that we have main supply connected to the motorhome. If I now press the button, it will bring up a series of icons, and as I rotate the button they will begin to flash. So if we start with the first icon just here, this one is for your heating. Just click on it, you'll see that heating is currently off. All I now do is just rotate and pick whatever temperature I would like it to be inside, right the way up to 30 degrees. Once decided, just click. That will then store in, and you'll see a little flames appeared above just there, and that little flame just represents the heating system, and it's just letting you know that you've set a parameter. Whenever the heating is in operation, it will begin to flash, and it will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you've asked. Currently it will not come on and flash because, as we well know, it's 37 degrees in here at the moment, so it's far too hot. If I now move across to the next icon, this one here is for your hot water, and again if I now click on it, hot water is off. If I rotate, I can heat hot water in eco mode, which will give us a temperature of about 40 degrees. If I rotate again, I can heat the hot water in hot mode, and this will give us a temperature of about 60 degrees. And if I rotate it again, I can perform a boost on the boiler. The boost is very handy, especially if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other, or if you just want hot water very quickly. If you do perform that boost and the heating's running, it will turn the heating off as it needs to use the extra power. And again, the icon will continue to flash until it's achieved the temperature you have asked. Next we have power source. So currently to do the hot water I am using mains electricity using 2 kilowatts indicated by the 2 lightning strikes above. If I rotate I can lower the power consumption to 1 kilowatt. Very handy if we're on a low amp site to try and avoid tripping. We can run in dual fuel, so we can run on a mixture of gas and mains at 2 kilowatts or a mixture of gas and mains at 1. This setting is very handy, especially in the colder months of the year. This way you're not sitting waiting a long while for anything to get up to temperature quickly. And then lastly, if we do not have any main supply, we can solely run on gas. Next we have the circulation fan for the heating system. So currently the fan is in eco mode. We can turn it up to high. And if I now turn off both hot water and heating, I can also use the fan to vent the motorhome. It has a fan speed of 1 to 10. If we now drop to the lower icons, the first icon just here is for a basic timer, so we can set a start time and then an end time. And then once we've done this, we can decide what we would like on within that time period. And then once we've done this, timer off or on, and if I now activate the timer icon will come up there, and now within this time period those settings would apply. If I now go back into it, I can turn it back off again, and when we go back in we can then re-alter it again. Next we have clock set, and then lastly we have the settings menu. So within this we have offset for the onboard thermostat, which is just located here. If you don't think it's correct, you can just slightly alter it. Next we have temperature, just if you prefer it displayed in Celsius or Fahrenheit. Brightness of this screen, 12 or 24 hour clock. Language. Index, more for the technicians, it just lets them know what software it's running. And then lastly, full factory reset. From time to time, these control panels may throw up an error code. It will appear as a series of numbers and letters, and a warning triangle will appear where my finger is. If you then look in the manual or you Google it, it will then tell you what the problem is. 9 times out of 10, as long as you rectify the problem, the error code will just automatically disappear. If that isn't the case, if you still have anything running like I do at the moment, just turn it off because it can reassess a lot quicker when it's not trying to do lots of things at once. If this still doesn't work, I then always suggest the good old-fashioned turn it off, turn it back on again. Just hold the button in until it says off. And if this doesn't work, I then always suggest doing the full factory reset, because sometimes that's all it requires. If I now just remove the cushions from this seat, you will see we can gain access to the leisure battery and the 12-volt fuses, trip switches, etc. just there. You can also see the battery chargers just there. Tucked just behind it, we have the underfloor heating just here, This will only work when the motorhome is connected to mains supply. And then beneath that is the solar panel regulator. We do not need to do anything with it. It will just smart charge battery as it is required. Storage compartments, both here and here. And then underneath this one you will find the drain tap for the grey water to drain down the fresh water tank. I just need to remove the cushions just here, and if I now just remove the cover, you can see the fresh water tank just here. Water pump just sits there. If I now just unscrew, you'll see the two drain bungs just there. One to drain the tank completely down, and the other one is the travel bung. So we'll only drain some of the water out of it. To turn this section into two travel seats, this section here will fold down. So you'll see directly underneath here there are levers that need to be pulled, and then it will then drop down. The table will rotate round, and to move it backwards and forwards, just place your foot on the black stopper at the bottom there, and then it will enable it to slide about. TV bracket just here, so just pull it out, and to fold it round, just pull on this lever just here, and this will then allow it to swing out. Plug-in points just here, so we have a main socket here, 12 volt, an aerial fly lead in just here. The TV aerial itself is just located in the overhead storage locker. To raise the aerial, undo the collar and then slide it up, and then get it into the position that you require, and then lock it back into place. At the moment the aerial is sitting in the horizontal position. It can be flipped into vertical for additional tuning if required, just by turning the tail at the bottom just here. Do make sure that the aerial is down and secure for travel. Extractor fan just here, on and off on this switch. And then we have the two gas rings, just push down and twist to ignite. And then we have the induction hob just here. Oven and grill. Push into the left for the oven. And then in and to the right for the grill. Also has a light. Beneath that we have the Thetford fridge, on and off just here. This is an automatic model, so as long as you are on A for auto, it will find the best power source it can for you. So because I'm currently hooked up to main supply, it's put us onto mains with a little picture of the 2-pin plug. If I was to now run outside and pull the mains lead out, it would then automatically attempt to fire itself up onto gas. And then as soon as we start the engine of the motorhome, it will then automatically go over to 12 volt maintain to keep the fridge cold whilst on the move. As you can see, the screen will disappear after a few seconds. Just tap the on off button to bring it back up again. I can take it out of auto just by pressing here. So I can manually put it onto mains, manually put it onto 12 volt maintain. We are going to get an error code at the moment because the engine's not running. And I can manually put it onto gas. But automatic is the easiest option to have it on. Temperature control just here. And then this last one here just controls the unit's anti-condensation jacket. The anti-condensation jacket needs to be on in the warmer months of the year. This will just stop a build-up of condensation behind the fridge freezer, which would then eventually run to the bottom of the unit, causing a puddle beneath it. So as long as this is on, it will prevent it. Storage, but we also have in here the gas isolation taps for the motorhome. So we have the hob just here, heating and hot water, barbecue point, fridge and the cooker. They're all in the on position, and quite frankly they can stay like that. I always say if you do smell gas in the motorhome, go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. Shower cubicle just here, light switch for it just here. Do make sure that the shower screen is secure for travel. And then we have the toilet, so we've got basin and then the cassette toilet. The bowl does swivel. To open to the cassette, just slide the grey lever across, push to flush just here. Do make sure that both the water pump on and the auxiliary button is on. Level indicator just here, so it will illuminate to let you know when the cassette needs emptying. And then if we just close back up again, if this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody's left this open. Light switch for in here, just tucked in this corner. We then have the rear bed. Beneath that we have storage. This can be got to by lifting up as well. If you are going to use the centerpiece, the ladder just sits in this section just here. I'll just put it all towards you and then just drop it down. Tucked just at this point here, we have the switch for the rear blue LED lighting, main socket and USB charge points as well. Any of this top lighting is all just touch. With the front drop down bed, firstly need to re-swivel the chairs back round. They swivel on the orange levers just down here, and then just control them sliding backwards and forwards on the lever just underneath. And then once they're back round, pull the levers just here just to flap them forward. A tip with this driver's seat, when rotating it round, it's much easier to firstly just make sure that the motorhome is in park, and then drop the handbrake out of the way. That way when you rotate it round, you're not banging into it. And again, if I now just pull the lever just here, I can drop the seat forward. And now if I just undo the clip just here, I can then pull down and then drop the bed into place. Netting beneath the mattress that can be put up. And you'll see we have two lights which are touch again just here. And then just lift and pull, and then it will go back up again, and then just make sure that it is clipped back in for travel. Bonnet release and jack and wheel brace are located firstly in this section just here for the bonnet release, and then the jack and wheel brace kit is all just located underneath the passenger seat in its own storage box.